My name is Kayla Parlavecchio, and my learner-centered assessment focuses on students being able to solve linear equations. My objective for my students is for them to solve linear equations, and I will be self-assessing them on different areas of this objective. My pilot group is my Block A freshman Algebra 1 students. It consists of 22 young men. I teach at an all-boys private high school, so my students come from various backgrounds throughout the state of New Jersey. Some criteria that was included in their self-assessment was their ability to apply inverse operations or combine like terms or check solutions to an equation. These three different criteria will help me to help the students to better understand areas they might be struggling with or need to improve upon. The students will be able to set their own goals after this self-assessment because they will better see their weaker areas or areas of improvement, and they will be able to determine a goal for themselves prior to the upcoming assessments. The students will be able to monitor their progress towards this goal because they can reflect back on their self-assessment and review that area that they might have had a weaker score on. And if later on throughout the unit they understand that criteria better, their score can improve and they will see that they're meeting their goal. The purpose of this assessment was to have the students be able to reflect on their prior knowledge that they have learned throughout the unit, as well as determine areas of strength and weaknesses. The goal is for the students to be able to better prepare for future assessments or be able to attend extra help hours with more prepared questions. Students will also be able to develop their own word problems, which can show their ability to write and solve linear equations based off of their current skill set. I will be able to carry out this self-assessment during our class period. Since we have a hybrid learning model, some of the students who are learning in person will take the self-assessment during class, and they will receive a physical copy of the paper. The students that are learning remotely will access the document to take online through Microsoft Teams, our Files section. They will upload their finished self-assessment to the appropriate assignment on our class portal page, and the students learning in person will be able to turn the assessment into myself. This will be done during our 50-minute class period at the beginning of class, and the students will have about 10 to 15 minutes to reflect and assess themselves. I will collect the data by once again receiving the physical copies from the students or checking our online class page. This is what my self-assessment looked like. And while I was creating this assessment, I wanted to focus on the different areas of difficulty throughout the unit, such as inverse operations for one-step, two-step, or multi-step equations, for the students being able to write their own linear equations given a word problem or a verbal phrase, students being able to identify variables from a verbal phrase, students be able to explain how the inverse operations work for one, two, or multi-step equations, understand when special cases arise, such as infinite solutions or no solutions, understand the distributive property, which is a prior skill the students have learned, rewrite equations for various variables. That skill will be applied in future chapters. Use their previous skill of rational numbers during their inverse operation steps, and then be able to check if their solution was in fact a solution to the given equation. I also wanted the students to be confident and demonstrate their knowledge by writing their own word problem that can be shared with the class. The students will be ranking each criteria and statement on a scale of 1 through 4. 4 being that they are the most comfortable and they would be able to teach the class. 3 meaning that they understand the topic but they would not feel comfortable explaining it in front of students and would rather explain it on their own. 2 is they understand the topic but they need some help or reinforcement. And the first one would be they don't understand the topic at the moment. So while I was creating this, I wanted to make sure I hit upon the major areas that students either have strengths in or weaknesses in during the unit. I will be able to analyze these results once I receive the students' assessments. I will be able to add up the results for each statement and then average those scores. This will make it very clear to me which statements or which criteria the students in my class are struggling with or having their strengths in. The benefit for this assessment will be to help the students better prepare for formative or summative assessments. If the students rated a statement low, then the intention is for that student to study that material more closely or come to extra help hours to review that material. When I see that a student has numerous low ranks throughout their self assessment, I would schedule a time to meet with that student to better understand what areas they are struggling with, and we will be able to meet during our class's extra help hours. Again, the benefit for this assessment is to help the students be comfortable with the material and make clear to them what areas they know and might not know so well at the moment. If a student is not meeting intended results after they complete the self assessment, I would like for the students to study and do practice questions with myself during extra help hours and then reassess themselves to see if their rank went up for that statement. I would revise this assessment if I noticed that the students were ranking each criteria very low or very high. If everything was ranked at a very high score and everyone was comfortable, I might go into deeper detail about the different specifics in this unit to then really understand areas the students might need to improve upon. If I see that each score is really low and the students are not comfortable with these assessments, I might have to go back and reteach parts of this unit because the students would not be prepared for an assessment. I would be able to use this assessment in the next chapters because a lot of these skills transfer over into the next unit. So the students would still be able to self-assess if they can use inverse operations, solve literal equations, use rational number operations. I would adjust this assessment for newer chapters to be a little bit more specific to graphing or solving systems of equations. These are the references for the images that I have used throughout my presentation. I hope you enjoyed.